Hey everybody, thanks so much for popping in to the Succeed Without Selling Salon. Today we are talking about discovery as it pertains to selling. Okay, now I am a firm believer that selling is not about selling, it's about learning, it's about discovery. And I firmly believe that if we shifted our mindset and we said, okay, I'm just going to be curious. I'm just going to always be on discovery missions, no matter what else is going on. Then we would learn so much about the people around us, the prospects around us, the networking partners, referral partners, people to avoid and stay away from. This is where we would gather all of that information so that we could be more effective when we're selling. Because, see, here's something I think salespeople do. I think they decide that everyone needs what they have to sell. And if they were just persuasive enough, if they just were good enough at describing the value and talking about how great their product or service was, that everyone would buy it. And the truth is, no, they won't. And that's because A, not everybody needs it. B, not everybody wants it. C, some clients are just bad. You just don't want them. They're just, there's no connectivity there. So part of our job as salespeople, and this includes small business owners and direct sellers and, anybody in the sales space, our job is to find out how all of these different connections impact our growth, our success, our progress, or not. So we really need to be in a really curious mindset and asking ourselves questions all the time. Who is this person? What is this company? What is the potential relationship? How do they do business? What are their values? What do their customers say about them? What is the value that their product or service brings? And there's just so many questions. So I'm going to go through this in sort of stages, sort of sales stages. So let's start with networking. I think one of the biggest mistakes that salespeople make when they network is thinking that the goal is to walk away with a customer. So they are in sales mode. It's almost like land shark. They are walking into the room, surveying the room for who looks like a good potential client. Okay, I got to go up and talk to them. I got to find them. And they walk up, shake hands, and just start talking. And for me, they do a real disservice to their business because they miss out on potential colleagues, referral partners, business friends, sounding boards, accountability partners, customers, clients. That the list is infinite. So think about it. When we're focused on one thing, then that's how we approach everything around us. But if we're not focused, if our focus is on learning, if our focus is on being open-minded and open to all the possibilities, then every single person we meet, what we're really asking ourselves is, how does this person or this company potentially fit into my orbit? What place could they have? And I say could because there's the possibility that there is no place for them in your world. And that's the other thing, is that you're not going to know it if you're always looking for new customers. See, clients and customers come when we are doing our job. And our job is not to be convincing them. Our job is to be connecting our solution to a problem. And we can't assume that there's people in the room who have that problem. We just don't know. And let's play it out a little, because here's what happens. When someone walks into a networking event and they are solely focused on selling, other people don't want to be around them. And you know it because you don't want to be around them. And whether you're behaving that way or not, you're probably not connecting that you are when you see someone else doing it. You just know you don't like it. Okay. How are they going to make sales if their focus is so much on selling that they are repelling away from the people they need to be getting to know? They can't. This is what's so crazy about this. This is why it just drives me to distraction that people spend their time doing this, because it doesn't work. And I'll play it out one step further. If you went to a networking event where every single person was pitching, every single person was trying to get customers, would you go a second time? Chances are good that the answer is no, because you'd say to yourself, why do I want to go there? Everyone there is trying to sell me their stuff. I don't need their stuff. I don't want their stuff. I don't want to spend my time having people hawk their wares at me. I'm not going to go back there. Okay, then let's not do it, right? Behavior we don't like, we don't want to engage in. But what if we went to a networking event and said to ourselves before we walked in, boy, I can't wait to discover who is here. I can't wait to see who I might meet, who I might learn something about. Then I'm wide open. I'm not projecting this salesperson, persona that people are going to avoid at all cost. I'm genuinely curious. I'm genuinely interested, and then I get to discover for myself which people I want to continue a conversation with, which people I want to continue to engage with. And that is the point. See, I can pretty much peg pretty quickly the people who I don't. They're the ones who are trying to sell me. They're the ones who are talking nonstop and not engaging in any conversation. Conversation's two-way. But what about everybody else? I can tell you personally, when I network, I don't go in with a belief that anybody there needs what I have to sell. So it's really relieving for me. I don't have to be on. I don't have to be convincing. I don't have to be persuasive. I get to just be me. And I get to meet people and get to know them and learn about them and connect them to other people. And it is a lot of fun. But it is more than just a lot of fun. It's two other things. One, other people like it. So I'm more attractive to them and they want to be around me more because I'm not trying to sell them all the time. That's number one. Number two, I get to figure out how and if those people fit into my world. Do I want to continue to get to know them? Do I want to continue the engagement? Or can I pretty much figure out, you know what, they're just in it for trying to sell, and there's really no point in trying to continue that conversation. So my vote is that when we are networking, we stay in discovery mode, we stay in curious mode, we get out of sales mode. It'll be easier, it'll be more enjoyable, and it will have more effect. It'll be more effective for you. You will actually figure out who you should be continuing the relationship build with. So that's networking. So now let's talk about discovery when it comes to prospecting. When you know the problem that your product or service solves, then you have an idea of who has that problem or who might have that problem. But you still need to go on a discovery mission, right? So you need to create a list of companies or people who are in that segment, in that target market. You can have more than one target market, it's not a problem. But you need to continue to do your discovery. So you do research on those companies or research on that demographic so you have a better understanding of who they are, what they need, what's going on with them, how they absorb information, how they prefer to be contacted. There's just so many things to learn. How are you connected to them? That's a big part of discovery when it comes to prospecting. Find out, figure out, is there a way that you could get someone else to introduce you? Could you end up having someone give you a warm introduction to that prospect? It's not going to be with all of them, but this is the other reason why when you network, if you're doing discovery and you're curious, you're going to meet more and more people. You're going to build more and more good relationships. So you're going to have more and more connections to your prospects. And you're going to be able to get introductions to them more readily. And boy, there's nothing better than a warm introduction. Once you have one, once you decide to do your outreach and however you're going to do it to your prospects, to gain a meeting, you are looking for a conversation, not for a sale. Because this is the third place where discovery is really important. You want to spend your time in that sales meeting, that sales conversation, learning as much as you can about that particular prospect. You need to have a list of questions that are critically important for you to be able to determine the answers to which will help you determine whether you can help them and whether you want to. And those two things are what you are seeking answers to. Those two questions. Can I help them? Do I want to? Because we are looking to build relationships, long-term relationships with clients and customers where there is a good, solid relationship. And you're not going to know whether that's even possible if you're not doing your discovery during the sales meeting. So have your questions. There has to be a budget question, decision-making question, timeline question, how do they problem solve, how do they typically, what's their preference for paying vendors, have they worked with a company like yours before? What was their experience? You are trying to divine as much information as you can so that you can accurately assess whether you can help them. And then if you can and you want to, how you're going to put that proposal together. Way too many salespeople ask questions, don't get answers to them, potentially because of the way they're asking them, but let's just, the prospect doesn't want to give the answer. They don't push it, they walk away, they put a proposal together, and then they get pushback, otherwise known as objections. And that's because they didn't find out the things they needed to find out before they created the proposal. Like budget's a really big one. Think about it. How many times have you gone into a sales conversation? You've asked all sorts of questions about the particular problem, project, whatever. And maybe you say, so do you have a budget? No, I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. Okay, thanks, because you don't want to push because it's talking about money. And then they don't, give you an answer. You don't ask for an answer. So you go away, you put your proposal together, put the price tag on it. You go back and they say, wow, really? This is too rich for our blood. Or they just don't respond. You can't get them back. Okay. That's because you didn't find out all the information you needed. Because if you'd been able to find out what their ceiling was and yours was higher, you would have known right away there's no point in proposing to these folks. At least not this solution. So I have to talk to them about this because I may have to propose a scaled down version of a solution. Or maybe part of a solution, we start there and we roll forward. Who knows? But if you don't have the answers to those questions, it's going to be really hard to propose effectively. And the last place where discovery is critically important as we talk about the sales process is after you've gotten them as a client, that you keep learning about them. Because nothing is stagnant. Nothing is permanent. And they are going to go through changes. Your company's going to go through changes. The economy's going to go through changes. The world's going to go through, look at what we're going through right now. The world's going to go through changes. And you want to be sure you are keeping up with that client, that you are continuing to learn about them, that you are continuing to participate with them in conversations and introducing them to resources and helping them where you can and learning about what they need and what's going on with them. Because I will tell you right now that if you aren't, your competition is. So that when that customer needs more of whatever it is you do, if you're not the one having the conversation with them, they're going to go to your competition. So you have to continue to have these conversations. So, summing it up, discovery, critically important in the sales process. And it is critically important throughout the sales process. We need to be discovering at every turn. We need to have our thought process around learning and being curious instead of telling and being salesy. It's easier, it's more comfortable, it gets better results, so it's more effective, and overall, it is amazing the things that you can learn when you are in that mindset as opposed to a selling mindset. Now, I talk a lot about discovery in my new book, Succeed Without Selling, which is available on Amazon as a Kindle, or you can pre-order the paperback. And I would love to hear what kind of discovery you do, if there's particular things that work really well for you, the kind of discovery that you do when you're networking, when you're in a sales conversation, as you're researching your prospects, whatever it is. So, don't be afraid to reach out. You can respond to this recording. You can put comments in and let me know. I'm always curious to hear what's working for people. We can share with each other and help each other be more successful. So until next time, when we will be talking about mindset, and I believe we will have a guest, Diana Murphy of Diana Murphy Coaching. We'll be talking about mindset then. Take care and have a great day.